Good evening, one and all. It's Sunday, the 19th of December. This is the tNB Gaming Podcast, coming live from the Gaming Pantry and around the UK. Good evening to you all. Hope you're very well. We're now 6 days away from Christmas. It's all a fever pitch of excitement. As you can see here in the pantry, we have decorations and Christmas trees and the wishful thought that the 49ers might get to the Super Bowl this year. Never know. Anyway, hello, I'm the Retro Bear. Good evening to you all. And we have people in the chat already, which is lovely. Goodwin's Place. Won't be in the chat much tonight, but we'll catch up later. Good to see you, Craig. 37 Retro, wrapping presents to this one, which reminds me I must do mine tomorrow. Mrs. Bear is here. That's good to see. And also Retro Crazy Gaming. Hello, Amanda. Hope you're well. Lurking and enjoying the stream, and happy holidays to everybody. So what are we doing tonight? Well, we're going to talk about the Master System tonight, which is rather exciting because we have got a guest on who knows a little bit about the Master System, and also got all the guys are on as well, another returning guest and one of the tNB to talk about the Master System. A bit of a popular thing to collect for at the moment. No, it's we thought it's a good time to give it a go. There's obviously lots of game challenges going on, people trying to complete full sets. So if the Master System is your thing, we'd love to hear from you tonight. Comments are in the chat. Don't forget to do that. And we shall interact best we can. Let's bring our guest in then for tonight. And my first guest, I'm absolutely thrilled to have him on because I've been chasing him for ages to come on and do this. And a name I've always wanted to get on. I'm really pleased he's got the time tonight to come on and talk about the Master System. It's one of the systems I associate him with. And somebody who's also done Desert Island Games right at the very beginning. And we had horrible technical problems that night. So hopefully this time I'll be able to hear what he's saying. Nothing to do with his accent, which is not any time I'm going to mention it tonight. I'm going to bring it up again in the future. It's a very good evening to Retro Red Steve.
All right, Mr. Mayor, how is it? When you started saying that he was looking forward to getting me on, I thought you were talking about someone else until you said about technical difficulties.
No, it's true. I've been absolutely dying to be on and talk about something like this, and it's not. We're not. As we said, it's a very, very popular system to collect for at the moment. A lot of people are doing it, and also the fact that I associate you with that, having spoken to you on Desert Island Games last year. So, in a way, it's a perfect opportunity for you to come on here and sort of expound your wisdom, really.
Oh, I love it, but I love it. You know what? Whenever I think of gaming in the past, I always think of Master System. It was my first proper console that I had. I got a few games pulled out down there, that I really love, and ones I think should be played more. Like I said, I love it. Absolutely love it.
Well, we'd love to see some of those things. You show some of those things off tonight to us all and talk us through. That would be fantastic. Mark's here, wishing you a very good evening, and also, how far away is your camera? I don't think it's that far away. I think that's pretty close, actually.
How's that?
That's an extreme close up. We don't want to get that close. People are turning off.
You sound like my wife.
We shall come back to you in a moment, mate. Let's bring in one of my other guests tonight. Two people waiting. He's a member of the tNB. I'm really pleased he's here to do this tonight because we've not seen enough of him on this particular show over the last few weeks or so. Very pleased to say here, I believe in him. I hope you believe in him too. It is Nath Retro One.
Good evening, all. How is it?
Good evening, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I just wondered what Steve was saying about turning his wife off, but I don't know what. I kind of came in at the end of that, so
it's nothing to do with me or anybody else, as far as I know. It's all down to Steve, I'm afraid. So you
must be a friend of the snares, a fan of the snares or snares.
So I'm really pleased you managed to make it, Nathan. I know also Master System's another system that you particularly enjoy partaking on as well. So it was good to get people in tonight who are very up on that at the moment, and so just thrilled to have you here, mate. It's been a while since you've done a tNB, isn't it, really?
Yeah, I've been out of it for a while, so thanks for having me back. And I thought it was going to be to the wire tonight, but a few times we have to drop out. So apologies to you for putting the effort in with the thumbnails, but glad to be in for this one and the end of the year and talk about Master System. I couldn't really miss that, could I?
There we go. Yeah, that's it. Broseb's here as well. Good evening, mate. He was on the Steve Cooper's World Christmas stream last night, which, if you saw, that was about Christmas food and drink and an in-depth discussion about Marvel films as well. Which wasn't expecting to go in that direction. So there we go. That's very nice, guys. And our final guest this evening, even, has been on before. And we keep bringing him back, but again, he's such a good guest to have on. Plus the fact as well, he's also has the common theme tonight. He does collect the old Master System, so it's very warm welcome once again to the Retro Bear. Sorry, that UK gamer.
Hey, surprise! Yeah, just in case anyone's wondering, I got the shirt off for us this week, so just in perfect chance to show it off. Yeah, thanks for having me, though.
No, it's good to have you back, mate. Back by popular demand.
Woo, I'm popular for once.
We had one letter, but that's more than most of us have got. You're perfectly all right with that.
Yeah.
But you're a big Master System collector as well, or fan of anyway, aren't you, at least? So.
Yeah, I've got quite a bit of a history with it, and I'm collecting it, so delighted to talk about it.
Oh, that's good. Well, it's good to have you all on. We may be getting a couple of people popping in a bit later, and I hope they do. We'll have to see where we go. Yeah, two bears on the screen, and a fox and a badger. So, I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not sure which one's which.
Is that Wind in the Willows?
No, I think I can be a badger.
That'd be a shit Wind in the Willows, wouldn't it? Bear, a fox, and a badger.
Two bears, a fox, and a badger. Yeah. Oh, the weirdest Wind in the Willows ever.
Sounds like the start of a joke. Two bears, a fox, and a badger walk into a bar.
Yeah. Ouch. Yeah. Sean's in the chat as well. Sean Metro Games Revive. Good evening, mate. Good to see you here.
Chinese turned up yet?
You're sorry?
Has his Chinese turned up yet?
Oh, he's having a Chinese, is he?
Apparently.
I don't know. It's not a code name for something else, is it? Oh,
it's not a euphemism either, for what I know.
Oh yeah, so I'm just checking our chat. There we go. And if Eddie makes it back from being murdered as well, he'll be on as well, possibly a bit later. But we'll ask him about that when he gets here. Right. So guys, let's very very quickly. Anybody been playing any games lately they'd like to share with us that aren't Master System related?
Or aren't?
Aren't.
Oh,
Have you been playing anything non-Master System related at all?
Oh, God.
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
I played a couple.
What have you been playing? Yeah, go on. What have you been playing, mate?
Well, one of them's a normal, the GTA Online, the GTA 5. Doing more crazy stuff with a new update that came out, taking out random hits on people. Trying out new vehicles, a taser. Recently got a taser. That's been fun. Otherwise, it's been the Pokemon Brilliant Diamond I got. Still playing through that slowly. Normally rush them, so taking my time.
Is it brilliant or is it a bit shit?
Getting towards the brilliant bit on my point.
Fair enough.
We'll get to that very shortly, 37 Retro, but that's a good question to start us off with. Yeah, you've got a bit of history with GTA 5, haven't you?
Yeah, as Amanda will know. Find different ways to kill Amanda on there. Not my Amanda, the game Amanda.
Yeah.
Did he specify that?
Yeah, I was going to say, what's she let herself in for, poor girl? You know what I mean? So.
But yeah, no, I play with my friends. Yeah, play with my friends, and we all find stupid ways to just take each other out. And I said, the new taser's just funny watching someone's spasming on the floor with electricity flying around them. It's all fun.
She sees the funny side of it anyway, so there we go.
Oh yeah, she encourages me.
Oh yeah,
and you know it.
Strange relationship that you have, but there we go. Have you been playing anything else that does involve killing your girlfriend, or?
Yeah, it's the Pokemon game. Got it a month ago. Been playing through that. I did play the second Star Wars Battlefront 2 that came out. Finally got around to trying that recently.
All right, is that any good?
Yeah, I think I prefer the original Star Wars Battlefront 2 that was done like back in 2005, but the new one's pretty good.
Oh dear.
But, yeah, definitely prefer the old like Star Wars Battlefront games to the new ones, but it's still pretty fun to play though. Enjoy like the fact you're all different characters, like you get a bit of Luke, a bit of Han, as well as just being a normal person on there. Much harder.
Right. Yeah, I played the first one for a little bit, so it was quite good in places, but I don't know. They don't seem to click with me now. Star Wars games. I'm not sure what it is. I prefer the older ones. I think Battlefront was probably the first one I played in a long time, possibly since anything off PlayStation 2 or GameCube. Like a whole generation of Star Wars. I briefly played The Force Unleashed. I tell a lie. I briefly played The Force Unleashed on the Wii, which I thought was quite good, actually.
Yeah,
not bad.
I enjoyed it as well on there.
I've not played many Star Wars games in the last 10 years or so. That's probably like anyone I've done.
Yeah. That or the Lego ones. They're pretty fun.
Oh, the Lego ones are good.
I think Nate said it the other day or something about Chewbacca ripping the arms out of stormtroopers, which is exactly what he does on that game. When you go to stormtroopers, he literally goes there and just lifts them up and pulls their arms off.
I said they lose their monopoly.
Yeah,
yes,
that was it. But yeah, literally does that.
A single-player gamer has made it. Well done, mate. Thank you very much for coming in and catching the stream live. I know you left lots of messages on my videos over the months or so to say that you're having to catch one of these. So really pleased to see you here, my friend. That's brilliant. I'll come to Geordie Slasher's question in a minute. Nate, have you been playing anything you want to share with us at all? Or
Yeah, I have actually. I've been playing quite a bit recently. Yeah, so
super duper.
So I've got back into Splatoon 2 recently. I'd actually done some decorating around the house. I don't know if that's like inspired me to play Splatoon and just cover everything with paint, but yeah, I got back into playing Splatoon a little bit online, which is really good. And those who haven't played it, it's just a great online third-person shooter game. Really, really clever. Definitely check that out. What else have I played? I've played on the Wii Kirby's Epic Yarn, and I've just finished it yesterday. And
that's a beautiful looking game. Beautiful.
It is a really, really good game. I like a lot of the Wii games. It just don't get a very good kind of write up for it. But there's different worlds in that, and even seasonal. There's like a Christmas world, and you have to collect gems in that, and you have to do certain things like you'll have these little hitboxes you have to hit, and then gems will just appear on the Christmas tree, and you have to climb up and collect them, and then just go down chimneys and go through stuff. It's really good. There's an ice skating level as well, which I had to do about 4 or 5 times to get everything on it. But that's a really good game, and the Christmas level is just a really good seasonal game. We were talking about Christmas games on a live stream like the other week, I think.
My one.
Yeah, that's it. And we're trying to talk about like Christmas games, and I hadn't played this at the time. And we're going through all the kind of ones like Christmas nights and things like that everybody knows, or the Christmas one on the Wii. And I came across this, and I'm like, actually, this is exactly what I was looking for this time of year, and just hadn't come across it before. So yeah, really, really enjoyed that one. I started Xenoblade Chronicles on the Wii after that, which I've only really just started playing, so not got very far. And a game that everyone needs to go and get a backup of and play on the Saturn, a game called Puli Rula.
Puli Rula.
Puli Rula. So Pulirula, which is just absolutely like bonkers. It's the simplest game. You're like a little child with like a magical cane, and you can hit people with the cane, you can jump, and you can summon things, but you're fighting against like the most bizarre enemies. You have like, I don't know, like this boss who just like has a horn over his member, is just trying to like screw you to death. Like that's his attack. And you've got a level with loads of corpses in the background, and you're fighting angry flowers like in the foreground. They're just in the background. There's just loads of corpses just laying around. Just
how do you discover these games? How do you come across them?
I don't know. I don't know. I came across that from a video, and I was watching it thinking, how have I not played this game? And I need to go and play it now. There's a bit where you just have 2 legs like out of 2 doors, a door in the middle, and legs are going up and down.
I think I've seen that.
Hit you, and there's like a door in the middle. If you, oops, I just fell over. And the door in the middle, if you hit it, there's just like a planet behind it, and enemies come out, which is kind of in the crotch region. So it is just a bizarre game, but yeah, everyone needs to go and get a backup of it.
That sounds mental.
Yeah. It is friggin' mental, Steve. There's just no other word for it, but it's just too good to actually.
And I can't wait for Big Al to pick it up and try pronouncing it.
Yeah,
I think that's quite an expensive game. Like if you can't get a backup of it, I think on the SAP it's about £250. It might be slightly less on the PlayStation. I think there's an arcade version of it, but I think it cut a lot of the kind of fun bits out that I'm describing. So you kind of want to get the Japanese game. And it's a toss-up, really. The Japanese one is in Japanese, so you can't read it, and you miss out the story, which is absolutely like insane. But if you get the game where you can understand the story, you miss out all the kind of bizarre gameplay. So get both of them is my advice on the backup.
Well, Broseb's had a question about, has anybody played Shin Megami Tensei V5 yet? I only heard about that game last night, and I've got no idea what it is.
No,
that's
on the Switch.
Yeah, I know it's on the Switch. It's like I saw it advertised along with a remake of 3, I think it was, or something. But no, I haven't played.
Mark's got the PS2 ones, yeah.
No, I think Steve Cooper was talking about that one. I think he got it from Games super cheap because they can't price it properly on the shelves or something. Not played that yet.
Let's just address a couple of questions. I hope we answer the important question tonight, such as did the Ninja or Teddy Boy have the better box artwork? Now, without me having to stand up and reach up there and pull everything down, everyone's reaching for their copies.
Well, Teddy Boy just had a child with his hat flipped off his head with a bug gun under it. Yeah,
that's what Well, for me, it's a Ninja because the Ninja does exactly what it says on the tin.
Yeah.
Ninja for me, and it's a Ninja. It's much cooler.
Yeah.
God knows what Teddy Boy doing.
I don't know. But it's like Action Fighter. What the hell's that all about? It's supposed to be a wing mirror. I thought for years it was a magnifying glass. I don't know why.
Yeah, I thought it was a magnifying glass. Is it not?
Like a weird, it looks like a magnifying glass, doesn't it?
Yeah. That's what I always thought it was, but it's a motorbike wing mirror.
Is it?
That's a bloody stupid drawing, isn't it?
Then. It doesn't make any sense.
For 30 years, I thought that was a magnifying glass, and even now I know it's a wing mirror. In my head, it'll always be a magnifying glass.
Yeah. I've just found it out now. You know, it's like someone telling me Father Christmas doesn't exist. I mean, how are they going to get around that?
So, what
exactly.
Boy or Ninja?
Oh, it's the Ninja has the better box artwork. Ninja. Yeah. Ninja.
Teddy Boy, because I just want to watch the world burn.
There we go. The tNB podcast answers the important gaming questions of the day. There we go. That's it.
The worst box art then.
What else have we got here? We've also got a question from Mark for you, Steve. This one.
Oh, for me.
Yeah, if you could pick every Wonder Boy game or just Breath of the Wild to play for the rest of your life, what would you pick? I think he means pick, but it could mean puck. I don't know. Is there an ice hockey version of Breath of the Wild? I don't know about.
No, but that'd be awesome.
As much as I love Breath of the Wild, it's probably the best game I've ever played. And I will go through it again, but this will always win hands down over anything.
That would just bring big screen, Steve. There we go.
Yeah,
that's just contradictory, Steve. Oh. Even though Breath of the Wild is my favourite game and the best game of all time, I'd pick this one. You sound like me.
I know it's going to sound really dull, and I think I sound strange when I say it. Even though that's my favourite game of all time, it's not the best game. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. It does.
Yeah, I like that. Whenever I say it, I always think it sounds weird.
Yeah, that's your accent.
I did say before I wasn't going to make any jokes about Steve's accent tonight. So
I said nothing.
Just get subtitles down the bottom ready, man.
Yeah, I can't keep up the typing. That's why I'm not doing any. So Eddie's got 3% battery, so he probably won't be able to get on tonight.
I said Breath of the Wild for me though. Out of them,
yeah,
it was definitely have to be Breath of the Wild for me.
I need to play more Wonder Boy.
Fantastic.
I need to play more Wonder Boy. I really do.
Played Wonder Boy enough
Which
to actually.
One?
Any of them. I've got the first one on the 8-bit. I haven't got it on the Master System. I've got Dragon's Trap on the Game Gear.
Yeah.
So
after we've done the Desert Island,
yes,
and we was talking about Wonder Boy, and I want to see 64 you've done.
Yes.
I have to go back and watch it, and I've watched it once or twice since then as well. And it's mad, even though it looks terrible compared to the Master System.
It does.
I think if I had had that as a kid, I still would have loved it.
Yeah, it got horribly slated at the time, and yeah, you're right, it looks horrible, but yeah, to be honest with you, it's one of those games you just play and then you keep playing it and have another go and have another go, and it seems quite straightforward and simple. But I want to play the Dragon's Trap and Monsterland, and all those. I've got that Mega Drive Mini as well, which has got that one on there for the Mega Drive, which you played a few months back, didn't you, Steve? Or maybe last year sometime. I can't remember.
Monsters Lair.
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah, in the arcade as well. That's a really good one. It's like a mixture. It blends like genres as well, because once you get off the platform in part, it goes into like a little shoot 'em up. Part of this brilliant. That is. And haven't played Monster Boy on the PS4 or on the Switch. Monster Boy in the Cursed Kingdom.
No, I haven't.
You can download it. I think it's about £6 or £7 now to download.
Right.
And it is,
okay.
Download it. Honestly, it's right up there with Breath of the Wild. It's fantastic. It's brilliant. Monster Boy in the Cursed Kingdom. Like I said, if you like Wonder Boy or got any sort of interest in it, you've got to play it. It's brilliant.
I missed out on the reboot of Wonder Boy. I really wanted to get hold of that.
Yeah, Wonder Boy Returns.
Yeah, I really wanted to get that on the Switch or the PlayStation 4. It just passed.
As well.
The moment went sadly, which is a real shame. Let's just pick a single player game. I'm going to come back to your question in a second, because that's probably going to go into what we're going to get to in a moment. 37 Retro says Enduro Race get lots of praise. Wonder Boy in Monsterland, as I mentioned, is really good. I like Enduro Race because it's a completely different game to the game, the arcade. It's an isometric view, and it's much better than. I already played the Commodore 64 version of the conversions at home. There we go. Martin's got a copy of that. We'll just bring you up on that. There we go. Enduro Racer.
Oh, I don't even have that one.
Yeah.
It's quite easy to get hold of.
Those cheapest chips. Those cheapest chips, that is.
Yeah, I've got some. But yeah, it's a good game. It's completely different. So, and I think it was a good way to go, because pretty much all the other versions, apart from the Spectrum version, is pretty good, but most of the other versions are pretty terrible. So, it's definitely a good one to pick up. What have we got here? The Ninja Gaiden is different from the NES port, and it's awesome. There we go.
Fantastic game. Hard as nails, but brilliant.
Well, they all of them are hard as nails, and Ninja Gaiden ones, aren't they? So, question for Steve: what is better, Monster Boy or Dragon's Trap?
Oh, Monster Boy. Monster Boy, without a shadow of a doubt. Dragon's Trap is good. Monster Boy just levels above. It's an 11 out of 10 game. It's brilliant.
11 out of 10.
It's got everything Wonder Boy is in it. It's fantastic. Honestly, I can't praise that game enough. It's awesome. I almost let a little sway one go then. But I haven't got any money to chuck in my sway jar. I used it all on Vigilante earlier.
Yeah. If you haven't seen Steve's video today of him playing Vigilante, cover your ears first. Or you've got any small children in the room, I suggest you move them to somewhere else and listen to it, because it's... how full was that swear jar, Steve? It was massive, wasn't it? Hang on. You showed us earlier. There we go, yeah. There you go. Yeah, Steve swear jar. That's just from 13 minutes of gameplay, that was.
You need to save it up for Christmas time and donate it to Sally Army. They'd be well appreciative of that. Or children in need.
Well, they'd be well happy.
Rach is here. 8-bit Rach. Good evening, Rach. Hope you're well. Nice to see you in again. So moving on from this, we could talk about the mass system tonight. Obviously, that was on the title card before we came on. And we're just going to talk about it, what we like about it, things we can recommend for it, memories, things we don't like about it, why we prefer the mass system over other systems, etc. Like I said earlier, if you've got any questions you want us to ask, and ask us to pass the panel, put them in the chat below, and I'll do my very best to get to them. I'm going to start with single player game, because very, very good question to ask first of all. I've never owned or played a master system. Is there any games I should play if I get a master system?
Yeah. Now, again, Mr. Baker, can I just jump in 2 seconds?
You can.
Ollie, the 8-bit boy UK.
Yeah.
I've just done a video today for beginner's collector's guide for the master system. So I'd highly recommend go and watch channel for anyone who's just getting into the master system. It's a great video, and there's a lot of good cheap games in it as well to start you off.
I did.
Talk about it. We can do better than that.
I did see that video.
To go watch videos, Steve. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
You can't answer a question by go watch this on YouTube.
Go and watch something else.
Oh.
Yeah.
Go read a book.
Then I recommend it.
Yeah.
I recommend that one. Nice and cheap.
I hate that game.
I could put him on timeout, couldn't I? I
I
suppose.
hate that game
How can you make that? It's brilliant.
because it's bloody hard.
They all are.
Yeah, but if you've only got a hope in hell of completing that game if you get the frisbee, if you got the hammer, you might as well give up. And when you get to the later stages, it's just frustrating as hell, isn't it? Like, I seem to remember there was an enemy of like these stone faces, and you can toss the frisbee at them.
Oh yeah.
If you got the hammer, you can't reach the ones up the top. It's bloody stupid.
I was under the impression that Deep Duck Trouble was the better game.
Easy for you to say.
It nearly wasn't. Nearly wasn't.
Used to have it, but I got rid of it. But it is good. It's very well. You can't go wrong with any Disney game. I don't think. No one a Master System.
No, I think you're right.
They're all good.
Yeah.
Castle of Illusion is better, in my opinion.
Illusion also.
I think it's better than Land of Illusion as well. Yeah.
Land of Illusion.
The sprites on them were just really good compared to even like when you compare it to the Mega Drive. There were certain games that just the sprites were just better on the Master System, and Disney did it really well. A lot of games I think fell down in that respect, but Disney one's actually always really, really good on that. Even if I hated the bloody game.
Good evening to UK Video Game Pirate. Just put up pickups yesterday, so good to see you here, mate. Festive game room looking very, very well decorated yesterday. Eddie asked the question, Sega or that one? Govelius. He spelt it wrong anyway. That's what put me off. Govelius.
Well, I like the cover.
I think you can't pick between them two, Ed. How can you pick between them two? They're different games.
Whoa.
Different games.
Like
That's a Zelda clone. You like Zelda, you love her. And that's a brilliant shoot 'em up, that is.
Let's just bring you big screen, Steve. Hang on a second, mate. There we go. So that's Sega, and that's it. Govelius.
And like I said, I told them about 2 games to recommend.
See, just so people are aware, we didn't. We hadn't planned this. Steve just got those games sitting next to him. Luckily, I don't know how he's managed to do it so far. We're going to find one he ain't got in a minute.
Well, I will say I got that one out just in case Eddie showed up because I know he loves that.
Double Dragon looked better on the Master System than the 2600. Yeah, a lot of things look better than the 2600 version of Double Dragon. That's terrible, wasn't it?
I was going to say single player. Single player games.
What we got here, Martin? Sonic.
Gotta be.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, that's one of the best.
I mean, and it is different to the Mega Drive one as well. So
better, I think, Mart.
Fun?
I think it's better than the Mega Drive version.
I don't know which one I prefer. This one holds more memories because I played this first. But there's something about like the second one with like the zones that you don't get on here that I really like. So
a lot of people say it's
Are we picking our favourites? Hang on then.
Yeah, I was say also. There's the third one.
Martin, question for you.
Yeah.
Can you do the hand glider now on Sonic 2 and the Master System?
No. That is the one thing I've always struggled with in this game. That stupid hand glider. And then when I can, every now and then I can do it, and it's like, oh my god, like shock. But no, it's just like awkward as hell. But I mean, this is one like one of the first games I ever had for the system. Like when I first got it, so in a way that holds more memories than the first one.
The artwork on that is fantastic.
And also much better than the Game Gear one because you can actually see the screen. The first boss is so hard on the Game Gear because of the resolution. On here, it's so much easier. So
I'm just gonna... Okay, well, we'll come to them in a minute, Steve, because we've got somebody else waiting to jump on. Another retro bear impersonator. It's what's it got? Retro Zylog revived.
What?
What's Zylog?
Come on. What does he? It's a Master System special, isn't it?
John McClane makes Christmas films. What's that? What does he say?
Not Die Hard wrong.
How are you, mate? Anyway, are you all right?
Yes, I'm good, mate. Thanks. I'm good. How's everybody else? All right.
Yeah, we're all doing well. Right, so as we sort of throwing games left, right, and centre here, Steve, what was it? I mean, you obviously mentioned Desert Island Games, but those people who didn't listen to that, what was your attraction to the Master System in the first place?
Oh, like I said, it was Mainwell. Show you exactly now. It was that. Honestly, because growing up, like I said, I was so lucky in that in the town I lived in, we had 5 or 6 different places that had arcade machines.
Mm-hmm.
And Wonder Boy was one of the arcade cards I used to play on as a kid. And I remember I was sat there one Christmas and my old girl always used to just chuck the card look at us and say, you are circle what you want off Santa. And I would just go in through the thing and I seen a Master System. I didn't have a clue what it was. And I just seen that. Like the artwork, there was no screenshots. I just seen that. And I thought, oh, that looks like the game I had to play down the cafe. And I thought, all right, I wonder if it is. So I circled that and the Master System. And as it happened, I got it for Christmas. And like I said, it's one of the best Christmases ever. So that was what proper got me off. And I just remember spending hours. Well, first of all, I remember spending hours trying to tune the Master System into the telly. But that's another story for another day. But yeah, like I said, it was just playing it at home. It was like having the arcade in my bedroom. It was just so good. And then I think I was one of the first out of my close group of friends that had it, and they'd come up and they'd play on it. Like the Christmases after, another friend started getting it. So it's just, when I think back, it just got so many memories of like loads of different games of just me and all my mates. And this is why I think I like collecting the games, because I can pick up any game, just like I got a memory attached to it.
It's I mean, it's one of those things, you play it immediately and you feel an instant attraction. A friend of mine had one at school. I was always jealous of him because it the way he described the system and the games that were on it and what he was playing, games I'd even heard of before. Because I was used to the big games down on the 8-bit computers and onto the 16-bit stuff, and he was telling me about Psycho Fox, and what did we used to talk about? I was like some sports games as well, and these games weren't available on those systems, so you got no idea what he was talking about. I was always determined to find out more about these games and play them myself. We never got around to doing that, so very strange. But what's it about? What's the interest in the Master System for you, Nath? I mean, well, how did you stumble across it or get into it?
Well, the Master System for me goes back to kind of, I think, primary school time. I think when I was at that age, everyone kind of had a Spectrum, and then people moved onto the Master System from there. It was kind of the next thing. Like for me, it was kind of rich kids had the Mega Drive and everyone else had the Master System. So at the time, I kind of saved up all my kind of Christmas birthday money. Martin, what on earth are you doing?
I've got no idea. He's off on his own.
Creeping me out.
rock and rollers here as well.
Up, bought the Master System 2.
Oh, he's gone. That's all he's doing. He's just disappeared. There we go.
Yeah, I bought the Master System 2, which I disagree with Eddie. I think that was so much sexier. And I got it in a set that had Alex Kidd built in, and it had Sonic as well as a second controller. And from there, I just kind of bought some extra games. No, I don't agree with him. I just there was places like where was it? I might even have a receipt in one of my old games for it. There was somewhere like, it wasn't Andy's Records, but there's this local kind of shop that did kind of videos and games. And I'd go in there in like the local towns and actually pick up games for about £5-8, what have you. Woolly still had them back then, and they're only about, most of the time they're only about tenner, maybe £15. But I love that machine. I think one of the earliest games I got for it was like Streets of Rage, which is absolutely fantastic on the system. I love that to bits. I think this I got like shortly after the system, Asterix,
yep.
I think maybe my favourite game on the Master System. This one, it is just absolutely fantastic. I've never completed it. That's not going to focus. I've never completed it. I think it's cost me a tenner. And when I upped and sold a lot of my Master System games off, this is one where I kind of had it out and I'm like, I can't do it. I got rid of like the expensive ones and I kept Asterix because it just had so many memories for me on that. But I've pulled out a few which I think are classics, which are absolutely amazing. One of them being Lemmings.
Let's bring you back up again, mate. Here we go. So,
Sorry.
Lemmings, yes.
Lemmings on the Master System. A really, really, really nice game, this one. It's got a level select cheat, which you can put in at the start, so you can basically just play whatever level. And some of them are really hard. Some of them try and be hard, but you can just kind of trick them and complete them really easily. It's just a lot of fun, that one. And one which I kind of saved up, and went into game. This is when I didn't really go into the big city, but I went to the big city with my parents, and I bought a copy of this. This isn't my original one, which I sold that, but so this is CX special, but Desert Strike, which I like more than the Mega Drive one. I don't know what it is, but the soundtrack on it is just, to me, it sounds better. And even when it's the 50 hertz version, it still sounds like better for me. Never completed it. It's absolutely hard as nails, this. I think even if you get to the final mission, you just can't really do it. I think it's just a bit broken. But yeah, and they're not expensive games. I mean, Lemmings is about £6. This might be pushing a tenner, Steve. Tell me if I'm wrong. Asterix, I'm pretty sure it is about a tenner. So yeah, it's just back then, and back even not many years ago, it was quite a cheap system to collect for. Obviously now people are kind of more onto it, but when I was a kid, the games were quite expensive then. I could pick up Master System games for very little, and I loved that thing. I had the Master System right up until I think I got a PlayStation 1 and an N64, so I had it kind of that long, and I swapped it for 2 VHS films, which is the stupidest thing I've ever done in my whole life.
I
can't even remember. I think one of them might have been Austin Powers. There you go.
Austin Powers.
Was it the one Spice World?
No, I think I probably got 3 if it was Spice World. Effectively 20 quid, silly boy. But it's just such a good system, and there's I think we're talking about this a while ago. I think I've got 4 games, which I now need to get back from my childhood games, and I've got them all again. But one of those being Road Rash.
Road Rash.
Yeah, one of them. Yeah, Steve knows. One of them's bloody Road Rash, and that is
Indiana Jones is the one, isn't it?
Yeah, and I should have bought that at Doncaster, but I didn't. But Road Rash now is quite an expensive game. I think it's about 50 quid.
Ouch.
Now, maybe even a bit more than that if you get a nice copy. And yeah, I got a bundle of games bought for me by my parents one Christmas, because I never used to get games at Christmas. I think they bought me 5 one year, and little me, I was absolutely flabbergasted to get Master System games at Christmas. But yeah, that one, Road Rash, now is this is the expensive pick of the bunch, that one. And Streets of Rage is getting expensive too now. That's up to about 30 quid, I think. Now.
You're absolutely right, yeah. It is getting an expensive one. 37 Retro said the Patriot Steve should have had a Dragon 32.
Dragon 32. Oh, what a system. Dragon Thunder.
A very popular opinion, the Master System Mark 1 is sexier than the Mark 2. Of course it is.
No.
I got to say, I like the 2 more.
It's got a lid.
What?
It's got a lid, and it's smooth.
But then again, the 2's what I grew up with, so
yeah, same for me. That's why.
I think a lot of people did, and I think that's why a lot of people prefer it. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong, the Mark 1 isn't, an aesthetic work of art, but there's just something about it. It's just very of that era. Whereas I think Yeah, I always think the Mark II just looks like a hybrid of about 6 different ideas.
I think the reason I like it also is because it looks clean, sort of like they have a GameCube. It looks basic, but at the same time, it looks basic and it's clean. It has a nice feel to it. I think it's something like that. Well, to me,
it looks like a Neo Geo AES system.
It's not, is it? It's not. It's
beautiful, but affordable.
Horrible.
It has a lid.
UK Video Coin Pirate. I used to lend my NES to my mates for their Master System. It was hard to keep my interest in 8-bit because I got an Amiga 589. Yeah. I think a lot of people. But then again, I mean, it went on for a number. I mean, it's still going now, isn't it? The Master System. They're still making games from Brazil.
In Brazil,
like that. Yeah. Did the Mark 1 have a a built-in game other than Snail Maze? Well, the one I've got is Safari Hunt and Hang On.
Hang On, yeah. So that's I got built into mine by a Safari and an Hang On.
Not even Super Hang On, just Hang On.
Yeah.
Hang on. What's going in? Hang on.
And if I am correct in thinking that the Mark II had Sonic and Alex Kidd.
Either or. You had Sonic 1 or Alex Kidd. And the idiots got Sonic.
Yeah.
Now you can't get Alex Kidd any other way.
I remember, you said to me now, because I, for some reason, amongst all my junk, not say junk, my collection, I had a manual for Alex Kidd in Miracle. And I thought, whatever, I haven't got Alex Kidd in Miracle. Where'd this come from? And then you mentioned to me that, have you got a Mark II? Because that came built in with it. So lo and behold, I got 2 Mark IIs, and they've both got Alex Kidd built into them. So,
I tell you what, Russ, going on what I've just said today, on the first Master System I had, the Mark I, back in 88, I think it was either 88 or 89.
Yeah.
I had it, and it was only Snail Maze built in. I had a card with Hang On on the card.
Yeah.
I had that with it.
The card, yeah.
I think it was a little bit later that it came, perhaps a year later or perhaps 2 years later, it came with other games, I think. I'm not sure. But what the boys are showing with it, the Alex... So have a look at the manuals again, boys. The Alex Kidd manuals.
Get your manuals out.
Alex Kidd.
Get your manuals out.
Now, one Martin got there. That's what come with the built-in system.
Yeah.
That's different from the cartridge version.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you're going to buy a copy off eBay, make sure it's got the right... If it comes with a manual, make sure it's the right manual. It looks like the box art. Because that's the one where Martin got there that come built in with it. The different manuals.
Okay.
There we go. We've got...
I didn't know that, actually.
Dane's just got the wrong week.
I assume there are different manuals as well. Because that's one specifically for the 2. So
Yeah.
And just show that again, Martin, would you, mate? Let's get on big screen. There we go. Instruction manual.
Spec.
It's just a giant manual for like the other ones.
Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. I'd have spent hours reading that.
I mean, I bought my one off eBay, so I'm lucky. I did have the box, but I got like all the manuals and so happy with that.
Steve's got his equipment communication from NASA. There we go.
Actually, I would say Steve mentioning the Alex Kidd manual. I was just checking the Switch one. It looks a bit different to the other one.
Yeah.
Smaller, it looks a bit.
It's smaller, isn't it? Yeah, you can tell that.
Yeah.
Your hands have grown. Yeah.
No,
it's different paper as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot smoother.
Yeah. Question from Eddie. Who uses the original Master System controller, although they use a Mega Drive pad? Well, we saw Steve. If you've got Steve's Vigilante video, he's using the original pad. There we go.
Yeah, man, it was hard. I've got a Mega Drive pad down here, which Mark Jody Slasher sent me, so I use that for most of them. But for some reason, on one, it wouldn't work tidy, so I put the Master System controller back in. I used that for Vigilante, and perhaps that's what... That might have cost me £3 extra in my swage jar, that Master System controller, actually.
Has anybody got that? Can you remember that original Master System controller and had a little joystick that screwed into D-pad?
I think
I remember
so. I think I've got that.
Yeah.
Have you scanned on it? Wow.
I think so. Hang on, see if I've got it out here.
The Master System controller online gets that was absolutely terrible because Mega Drive, they just broke the little plastic bit.
No,
of the square.
Not that one. Just a normal Master System D-pad.
What do you mean? It's screwed into the shoulder, didn't it?
Yeah, in the middle of that.
They plastic clip around the edge, and they would just break off. So the middle bit would fall out, and then you just have 4 push buttons. They were crap. I remember kind of fixing it by just gluing it with some electrical tape on the inside. So it was kind of half stuck inside the controller, so you could still use it to get them to work. But they were absolute crap. In fact, the one that I bought, my Master System I bought from Doncaster to replace it, which was faulty anyway, so I had to get another one. The pad on that even had bits in there. You take the controller and hear little bits of plastic rattling around. Hey, Gordon.
Even Gordon. Sean, what's the attraction to the Master System for you then? Because I know you've started building a loose cartridge collection.
Yeah, I have. Nostalgia reasons for one. As I said in my recent Desert Island games, I got one as a Christmas present, the Sega Sculpts pack. I just fell in love with it. It was a really good system. And I know we don't want to get into a Nintendo versus Sega debate, but for me, the Master System just looked.
Yes.
Sega.
I was going to say that.
You know what he means.
It just looked better. Well, in my opinion, the graphics just looked better. Colourful, brighter.
Absolutely right.
The NES graphics kind of look washed out to me. But the games were just a lot of fun. And in fact, one of the first games I got was Teddy Boy. And I absolutely racked my brains trying to work out this game. Because for years I've been thinking, I can remember the game. And I'm sure it had these little shiny creatures. And I'm sure they went small when you shot them. And I just couldn't remember it. And I'm not kidding. I actually spent one afternoon going through the old Master System collection and typing it into YouTube or Google Images to see which game it was. Finally, I reached T. And I found it.
Little things.
Imagine a zillion or something.
I couldn't believe it when I found it. So, Teddy Boy actually is the only Master System game I've got that's boxed. Because that is my favourite Master System game, along with Space Harrier, obviously. But yeah, I just think it's a great little platformer. You've just recently played it, haven't you, Steve?
Yeah. It's a
great
cheap discount game. It's very good. Fair play.
Yeah, it is.
It looks quite tricky as well.
Yeah.
Amazing box art.
Brilliant box art. Best box art ever.
Exactly.
It's not as good as a Ninja.
No,
that's right. Second best box art.
Yeah, if you are joining us, like you missed the Ninja versus Teddy Boy box art debate. It's one of the highlights of the year on YouTube.
I always thought that was a grenade at first.
I thought it was a grenade as well. What is it? What is it? Hang on, Martin. Just hold that there a second. What is it about this poxy box art? I thought that was a grenade.
With eyes.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know they were eyes. Yeah.
Could be a living grenade for all we know.
We've now destroyed the fact that Action Fighter has got a motorcycle mirror on it rather than the magnifying glass, and now Teddy Boy has got some sort of green blob as opposed to a grenade, which is I don't know, it's killing me. There we go. Yeah, I agree with Claire. It's nothing like a teddy bear at all. So.
It's got you
right there.
You should know, to be fair.
I should know, but I don't. Yeah, Martin, what's the Master System for you then? How do what's the attraction to it?
Well, it was the first system I ever had. Got one for Christmas '92, I think it was, when I was 5. So straight away I was drawn to it. It's like my first gaming experiences, and even now I just love how it's not simple, but compared to modern day stuff, even compared to like the Nintendo 64. But I just love how simple it is. Like, it looks clean generally a lot of the time for the graphics. There's like nothing too much there, but it's got some really, really fun games like the 2 Sonics I showed earlier.
Yep.
This one, which is one of my favourites, which isn't seen much.
Let's give him a big Time Soldiers. I don't see that at all.
Yeah, hardly ever see it.
Yeah. I'm gonna Steve's got one as well. Go on, Steve.
Yours get cleaner than mine.
Yeah.
But what happened was, for this one actually, is the one I've got now isn't my original Master System. I don't know what happened to that. So I bought a bundle off eBay like 10, 11 years ago. Got a load of games. I got the manuals. Got that joypad, and it's like that's the first game I had to buy separately to go with it, just because I had it as a kid. And the thing is, especially with this one, for example, is I'm not that much into shmups, but I love that one, which is along the same sort of lines. Quite hard though at times, I find.
Similar like Mercs and Armad, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like Mercs and them, like Commando style games.
exactly. Yeah, and the other thing is, I also played the NES when I was younger, but I just preferred. I think the graphics and the music, which I know we mentioned earlier, I think they're cleaner. And in fact, not that one, but the original version of it, like the original Alex Kidd Miracle World.
Yep. That's the Switch
Yeah.
remake.
The original.
Yeah. Well, you know what I mean. It's like it just holds so many memories for me because it was my introduction to gaming. So it's like I've had a soft spot for it, and I've just been like, I have to get it. I love playing some of them games.
You used to play Alex Kidd 2 and 3.
I've seen them. I haven't got them, but I know of them.
Well, yeah, you won't have them because they were limited edition.
Yeah, I know.
It cost an absolute fortune, but you can get the ROMs. And
Yeah, no, I've seen like that, like one that was like doing the.
Oh, Steve actually got one. Here we go.
No.
Steve, you're gonna pull it out.
No, I haven't got one of them. I wish I did. I'm just going to show this. Talking about Alex Kidd.
Oh, no, we got it.
That's brilliant. Alex.
I've got Lost Star cartridge only.
Wasn't that supposed to be a follow-up of a Shinobi game? Alex,
yeah.
Not that one.
Well, this one, what it was meant to be, look, with the Alex Kidd games, they was meant to be doing a series of them. So I know they was going to do like Alex Kidd in Golden Axe World and that as well. But for some reason, and I'm sure, don't quote me, but I think this was one of the last ones made on the Master System, or was it iTech World? Because it was one come out on the Enchanted Castle, come out on the Mega Drive, and I'm not 100% sure, but I think they released another one on the Master System after that. I think I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, that's the one.
It's on YouTube now, so it's there forever. It's on social media now forever. So whether you're right or wrong,
Steve, they were going to make another Ninja Gaiden game, and it just didn't materialize. So they just made it an Alex Kidd game. Which sounds about right for Sega.
Eddie says Lost Stars is terrible.
Yeah,
most of them are than Miracle World.
Sean, get your abacus out and sort me a price out, says Dana.
Yes, I'm going to sort him a price out. Actually.
Okay. Alex Kidd in Nintendo World would have been better.
Alex who?
I'm deliberately.
Wait, don't tell me Steve has that.
A copy of it tucked away somewhere. Yeah, I never heard of that. Prototype. I mean, for me, the Master System just had all the well-known games that you were playing in the arcades. I've said this before, and I'm not knocking the NES. It's a good little system. I couldn't appreciate it a bit more, but the games look so much better on the Master System, and they looked, they look more like they should do. And the colours, as Shaw mentioned earlier, the colours are about it as well. I mean, New Zealand Story that looks amazing on the Master System. Absolutely amazing. Steve, thank you very much for once again. I'll just try to show us again, mate. Would you please? There we go. New Zealand Story. I mean, that game looks absolutely fantastic. It's hard to believe it's running on the Master System. It really is. Absolute quality. So
the colours just really popped, didn't they?
Yeah. I was watching a video earlier on a guy sort of put like his favourite 25 Master System games on there, and there's some game plan. Honestly, okay, there's a little bit of sprite flicker on there which lets it down. But having played the Amiga version, I was like, it's very little to compare between the two looks-wise. It's exactly the same. It really is a cracking. And Dana backs it up with them. Master System had the better colour palette, no doubt about it. It's as Sean said earlier, Steve mentioned it as well. I think we've all mentioned the colours, just amazing. It's very like the 8-bit systems. You had the Spectrum, the 64, and the Amstrad. The Amstrad obviously was the slower of the three machines, but graphically, colour-wise, it had probably the best palette of the three.
Yeah, it did.
And again, the games looked fantastic. They suffer a bit from slowness, but they looked the business. And I think the Master System is exactly the same. They look fantastic, and to me, they play a little bit better than the NES. But there we go.
Just on about colours, David Retro Games, he always jokes about the Commodore looking brown. The games, the graphics. But to be fair, he is quite right. And like you said, the Amstrad was a lot more colourful than either of them two computers, Spectrum and Commodore.
He's not right till he comes on here and defends himself. I keep telling you. He can sit there and snipe from his bunker in Blackburn or wherever he lives, but he can come on here and tell us himself one day. Brosev says, wish Canada had more Master System. Love the Ninja Gaiden. His league's better than the NES version. It's an expensive game, that one as well. Sega loved the Mark... Dana loved the Mark II back in the day, and CPC as well. I know he had a lot of love for that back then. So I know, Steve, you've got some games there. Do you want to sort of talk us through a couple that you would recommend to somebody who'd be looking to start a Master System collection?
Well, I got a few.
That you haven't shown so far.
I haven't shown yet. One, I think this just goes without saying. This have got to be one of the first shooter maps that you buy, and it's still quite cheap as well. And that's R-Type.
That wasn't what I was expecting.
Yeah,
that's a cracking game.
That's a must have. That is that one. Again, I got a couple of arcade conversions, but obviously that was one R-Type. But I think this plays better than the arcade because it's just more forgiving. Shinobi. That's definitely one. Yeah. It is quite. Once you get used to it a bit, it's quite easy to finish without losing a life. If you can get past one of the levels, I think it's 5-3 or 5-2, when you get like flying ninjas come across the thing. If you can get past that with all your lives intact, and the one jump, there's one jump, I think it's on 3-2 or 4-2, something like that. That like I said, well worth playing. Another one which needs no mentioning really is Bubble Bobble. That's
cracking game, Steve, that one.
Fantastic. Again, one I'm sure we all play this in the arcades. That's Rastan.
I can never find a copy of that.
It was strange with Rastan because it used to be quite cheap, but it seemed to not be any available on eBay, no for auction. And it was all buy it now, and it was 40 or 50 quid, and I was thinking, what? I think, no, that's not right. So I think I got it from CX or something, or I might have got it cheap off eBay, but yeah, I just waited with that one. And one, like I said, got to be one of the best co-op experiences, but it don't get a lot of love as a co-op game, and that's Gauntlet.
Oh yeah, great choice.
I nearly bought that one from CEX, but it was a bit tatty. But I remember that on the Spectrum, and I think it's pretty good on the Master System, isn't it?
Yeah. And one more I'll just give for now as a recommendation, which, again, don't get half the love it should. And I think it must be either a year or 18 months ago. I seen it recommended to a few people, and they picked it up, and they enjoyed it. And that's
Submarine Attack. Yeah, I'll keep looking at that one. Yeah. I'd like to get a copy of that one.
It's definitely a bit similar to In the Ant.
Yeah.
Well worth a play. But the only thing I say with that is makes you collect the S's on the power up, because some people say, I can't go backwards. But if you collect the S's, you can not go backwards turn around, but you can pull the sub backwards. And that's one, definitely well worth playing. All them, definitely.
Okay, good choices there, mate. I like that. Dane's agreeing with Gauntlet. Yeah.
Am I the only person that don't like Gauntlet?
Yes.
Never got on with it.
Off.
Metal Yen says, used to love Spellcaster RPG on my system, used to be good if memory serves me correctly. I don't know memory serves me well. I don't know that one. And a very warm welcome to the chat to you as well, Metal Yen. Nice to have you here tonight. Power Strike says, Bro said Phil beats every NES shooter, even the Famicom shooter Rekka.
That's another one that's gone crazy in price. The second one is, I'd say, if I had a Holy Grail game, Power Strike 2 would be it, but I'm never going to get it now for the price they've gone. But Power Strike 1 now, it used to be like a 15 to 20 pound game complete. Now it's looking anyway from 70 to 100 I see it going for now. It's bonkers.
Ouch.
I'm gutted I got rid of it a couple of years ago.
Did you?
Well, I'm going to show a couple off now, so I'll just make myself big, pardon the expression. And we'll show Double Dragon first of all, which I mentioned earlier. But
Yeah.
absolute class game. This one, I think it's fantastic. Again, a lot of the 8-bit versions of this were rotten, but this was a really, really good one. Really, really good game. Absolute classic arcade game. I love Pac-Man, as most people know. So Pac-Mania for me on any system is great. If you've never seen Pac-Mania, they tried to redo Pac-Man in the arcades, and you give you an isometric maze view. And it's really, really good. If you enjoy playing Pac-Man, you can't go wrong with that at all. This one, RoboCop versus Terminator.
Yeah,
definitely.
Again, I played it. I played this when I first got it a few months back. I haven't played it since then. But just a fantastic game, and I love the fact that it's coming in this black box, black artwork on it, but also the fact as well the cartridge is also black. Now, a lot of the Master System games have got the red stripe across the top of the cartridge, so I'm really pleased to have that one. And probably the game I'm most proudest of having, because you don't see it a great deal, which is Star Wars.
Oh,
That's not the one getting up there.
that's one I want.
Unfortunately, mine's got a little bit of a rip in the back, which
that's
was
a tough one as well.
Yeah, it's a tough old game. It really is.
I completed on the Game Boy, but it was bloody hard on that.
And yeah, so I got a slightly reduced price on that. I'm happy to have it because you don't see it a great deal. But those are 4 games I can certainly wholeheartedly recommend. It's going to set you back a few quid because most of those are about 10 to 20 quid. Most of those probably at the moment. Maybe Pac-Man is probably the cheapest one of the lot, but certainly Double Dragon, RoboCop, and Star Wars will set you back a few quid on those. But again, good games to the system.
I'd say, Russell, what about Clax? Because I know you've mentioned that a few times.
Yeah, I have Clax. Yeah, I like Clax. I like Clax on his system. I've got a lot of time for that. It's a good puzzle game. It tends to get overlooked because you've got Tetris and you've got columns, but I think it's really, really good. I think it was quite an unsung game, really. It doesn't quite get the love it should do.
Yeah.
It would involve me standing up and going up the top of the shelf, and I'm not going to do that for the moment. So,
I'll tell you for you.
There we go. Hang on, just bring your big screen. Martin says.
When I bought this, it was $250 in CX, and apparently they only had one in stock. So, and it happened to be down by me, so that's fortunate.
Dana says best thing about...
Do you remember Captain N?
Captain N, the Games Master, yeah.
I always, when I see Clax, the boy playing it with that jacket, it always reminds me of Captain N for some reason.
Yeah, he had a red jacket in the cartoon, didn't he?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Which is quite funny. It's an Atari game, Clax, I think.
Yeah, it's on Atari as well, yeah.
Yeah, I think the conversion was a Tengen conversion.
Yeah, that's right.
It's an Atari game. Best thing about the NES is it's square and easy to stack in the shop, similar to the original Xbox.
Yeah, you can't do that on the Master System, can you? Right a place.
You can't stack any Master Systems. You can't even stack them on top of each other upside down because that stupid bread tray in the middle of it. I take the NES D-pad over that Master System wheel D-pad thing, though. I would agree. I'm not a massive fan of the Master System pad at all, to be honest with you.
No.
I think there's some really good ones. I can't remember the names of them now, but they're quite expensive. I think like the Master System Pro or something like that but they are quite expensive. They got like the auto fire thing and that on it as well.
I think I've seen those before.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid.
Yeah, Eddie's got it spot on.
Is it on Psychic World?
Sorry, no, I thought
that isn't it? Psychic World.
I think that's the game that I'm interested in playing. And Fantasy Star, I think, was one of the first one was released on the Master System. Both games I want to play, but haven't been able to.
Nathan, any games you want to show off you haven't shown off already?
I think I've shown most of mine off. The only one that I have, for some Michelle's all night, that I actually quite enjoyed as a kid was Global Gladiators.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Like game when I could do that. I got a cool spot as well if you guys want it. I really enjoyed that. Yeah, this one's just a random platforming game, but it's so inexpensive. It's like a 5 or 6 quid game.
Yeah,
and you can get it boxes for that price as well, can't you?
I mean, that's quite hefty.
Yeah,
some expensive ones.
Sorry, your connection's breaking down a bit there, Nath. Sorry, mate.
Come back to me.
Yeah. Oh, you're back now. You're back now. Go on. Yeah.
Oh,
you got cool spot. You say you got cool spot.
I have got cool spot, but I haven't got it on me. That's a fun game. I really enjoyed that one as well. That was a really good.
Yeah.
But I haven't got it.
Hang on.
Thinking about
Martin's going to show us cool spot there.
Yeah. I really like that one. That's a cheap one as well. That's
I just love how it's a red dot on the 7-Up logo.
Yeah, exactly. It's
so random.
How the hell they made a game of that?
This is the thing about the Master System. It was probably until about 2 years ago a very, very cheap system to collect for. And the fact you could get box games with the manuals. I mean, the 4 I've shown you here, I mean, they've all got the hang tabs on them. They've all got the manuals inside. But probably about 2 years ago, they probably wouldn't have cost as much as I paid for them now. Yeah. And of course, the problem I find, I don't know whether you guys are the same, is that when you try and buy, copies off eBay, there's always something missing off them. Or you're going to try and be a bit, am I going for a boxed collection, or am I going for a box with hand tag and manual collection, or as Sean's doing obviously the cart only collection. I mean, how do you find that, Sean? I mean, are the cartridges usually intact, or you get the odd one with bits peeling off it, or?
No, I mean, obviously, I look at the photos first and make sure they're in reasonable condition. I'm not overly fussed if they've got a slight rip in it or a little bit of a defect. I'm not that bothered about that. But yeah, most of the time, pretty decent what I'm picking up. Purely because eBay, you can see the photos, you can see exactly what I'm buying. So, not too bad.
Yeah, Paul Retro Bates here. Good evening. So your big quiz night on Wednesday coming up with Sega Zombie versus Larry Bundy Jr. So that'll be, if you have not come across the Retro Gamer Quiz, been running all year. Been absolutely brilliant. Go across and have a look on the Retro Bates channel. That's on Wednesday. I think it's 8 o'clock, isn't it, Paul? I'm pretty sure of it, but we shall be there tuning in for that one.
Sean, have we got them? World Grand Prix and California Games?
World Grand Prix and California Games.
I haven't got California Games. Not too sure about World Grand Prix, to be honest.
I think you might have. I think I sent you World Grand Prix, Sean.
Did you, mate? Yeah.
Possibly. I don't know.
Could have done. To be honest, I took them out of that big box yet. So.
It's quick call for Danish shops. He's got some cheap Master System games, and many of the games, console, toys, and comics, and much more at Hidden Chest Gaming.
Oh, I opened put Batman Returns away for me. Don't forget to put that away for me, but Batman Returns, I want that off you.
I'm sure you'll be fine, Paul. You've been doing it all year, mate. I'm sure you'll be absolutely fine. I'm sure it'll go brilliantly. But do go across and check that out, and there'll be a lot of people there. It's going to be a lot of fun. Scott's Sega Zombies nailed the quiz this year, so much that other people don't want to go on it anymore. But as he met his match in Larry Bundy Jr., we shall find out. Anyway, Sure, have you got any Master System stuff you want to show off while you're there, or?
Pretty obvious ones, really. Operation Wolf.
Let's give you the big screen.
I haven't got any games to show you, obviously.
Okay. Jesus bloody hell.
Got the gun like me.
So Operation Wolf, yes. Anybody got a copy of Operation Wolf they could show?
We did.
Sorry, when I say everybody, when I say anybody, I mean Steve. Have you got a copy of Operation Wolf you can show off?
Yeah.
In case anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, there we go. Operation Wolf, one of the great arcade games of all time. That.
Yeah, it is. It's a decent conversion and all.
It's very good. It is very good.
And you'll play with the pad as well as the light gun as well.
Yeah.
I will play it with the pad because I like a challenge.
Yeah.
I think
the second pad plugged into port 2 for the bombs, or is that with the light gun?
Was it?
On the 8-bit version on the Commodore 64, you had to press the space bar to fire the grenades.
Yeah.
So you put the keyboard. Yeah, you exactly put the keyboard on the floor and use it as a pedal. Just people nowadays have got no idea how we used to suffer back then, have they? No idea.
I think it's called this World Soccer. Is it World Soccer, Steve?
Yep. Everybody
really
must have a copy
that
of World
game.
Soccer.
It's, I think it's quite an underrated game.
Oh,
That's
he's
the
there
one.
again.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Nice.
Yep.
Nice, colourful little
Yeah,
sprites.
Nice bit of leg, huh?
Yeah, but the good thing about that box art is there's a football and there's a leg with a football boot attached to it. There is no confusing that for being a magnifying glass or a grenade, is there?
But there's no world. So how do you know it's international?
I've also got down. This is quite a decent game, arcade conversion, Quartet. I don't know if I've mentioned it already.
Not yet, I got rid of that.
You got rid of it.
You got rid of it?
Oh, no, Steve.
A couple of years back, long story, I'm kicking myself.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a World Soccer one, you're kicking yourself. But I tell you something, I've never seen that before. Never seen Quartet on the Master System. I know it exists, but I've never actually seen it for that system.
Plays well in that one.
Yeah, it is. It's good. And finally, I'm quite good on the Mega Drive. This, but I like it on the Master System as well. Quite an hard game. Tasmania. I don't like.
Oh yeah. Hang on. Everybody's running for a copy of Martin's there first. Well done, Martin. There's a little prize in a post to you. There we go.
I'll keep you to that.
Yeah. There's a couple of comments in the chat. Where are we? Golden Axe Warrior, Eddie says. Oh, Steve's got a copy of that.
Got him somewhere. Here he is.
Begins with G. There we go. Golden Axe Warrior. That's an incredibly expensive game, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I had to do a bit of a dodge on mine. I was no way, never paying that price for this. I just bought a loose cart, and that was 45 quid. Just glad I got to pay that. And I just had a cover printed out.
Oh, so you cobbled them together then? Yeah.
Yeah, like a little Frankenstein thing. I thought that game is got a bad story with that. I remember years and years ago walking into a place called Soft Centre, and I had a copy of that. It was about 10 or 11, whatever it is. Copy in my hand, thinking, yeah, I'm going to get that. And then walked past a game called E-SWAT. And as soon as I seen a cover of E-SWAT, looking like RoboCop, I thought, right, I got to get that. So I put Golden Axe Warrior back and got E-SWAT.
You flipping bum.
Yeah. Yeah. But where it really pisses me off is when I started buying the games back. Now, especially I go back, started getting back into collecting tidy about 18 months ago, 2 years. E-SWAT's about £5 to £10. So I got that quite easily. Now I want to get a copy of this. If I had bought this back in the day, that would have been one of the first ones I would have bought back. And I think at the time it was about 30 quid.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't have been so bad. Now you're looking at about 120.
Good grief.
Yeah.
I think I was with Eddie when he bought a copy off CEX. I think he paid £85 for it, and the manual was missing. So I think it was a reprinted cover as well, because we were opening it there. Bet Steve doesn't have a copy of the card version of World Soccer.
No.
Okay.
Does he mean Great Soccer? I think he means Great Soccer there.
Retro Kits here. Good to see you, John. Anybody's interested, Dana Shop is opening January 29th, unless there's another lockdown, and he will be selling online. So Hidden Chest Gaming, everybody going up on the internet, and go and support Dana. We'll wish him the very, very best of luck with that venture as well. Hope it works out for him. Operation Wolf with the light gum is awesome. Yeah, it's a way to play it, but I don't know. Play with the old joypads, a bit of a.
Oh, Russ.
Yes.
Ask what he thinks is the best. Ask Retrobit Paul what he thinks is the best box art, Teddy Boy or the Ninja.
You've just done it. This is how it works. This is how video and communication works. Paul sat at home, right, watching us do this. So anything you say, he's going to hear it.
I thought he went for you first and then out.
Just trying to explain how it works, so we understand where we go with that one.
Look, but I'm from the valleys. We still struggling. This is all new to us, don't ya?
Sega is a great shooter. Yeah, we mentioned that one a bit earlier. You lot may have a full set between you. Yeah, I think we may probably do. Apart from the ones that we can't afford. Bank Panic with a phaser.
I haven't got Bank Panic.
No, I haven't got Bank Panic. Yeah, Eddie does mention Great Soccer.
Yeah.
Oh, Bank Panic. Hang on, Martin's going to produce that one. There we go.
Has got the
that's
phaser.
Steve. That's actually Steve.
Actually, I like the cover on that one.
Yeah.
I like the cover on that one.
COVID.
Pro wrestling. See, again, this is a game I cannot find in a good condition. Pro wrestling. It's absolutely common as muck. Yeah, there we go.
What's with Eddie's?
That's what I've always wondered.
No,
So is he wrestling his own head there? Or what?
yeah. It's not actually a bad game. It's a good game, man.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, all those sports games, great soccer, great football, etc. Great volleyball, great basketball. You can never find them in good condition. They've some have got the boxes, but the art, the manual's missing, or the boxes damaged, the inlay covers torn, or the hang tabs missing, and they're cheap to pick up. You just can't find them in good condition.
Is it better than Pit Fighter, Steve? Is it better
than what?
Pit Fighter?
Pit Fighter.
Oh, Pit Fighter is incredible. God, I don't even want to mention Pit Fighter. It's absolute rubbish.
Chase HQ. Chase HQ. That's another one with rotten artwork on it.
I got that back in. Yeah, that's a great game, man. It's mine to play. We played that on the Mass System Challenge not so long ago. Definitely a great game, man.
It is a really, really good one. Yeah, shit.
I've got a question for the panel.
Hang on. Dylan said, "Good evening, Dylan. Action Fighter cover art trumps pro wrestling." Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
I don't know about that.
Well, I don't know. It's better than magnifying glass. Hang on, Steve. We'll just give us a comparison. So, hang on. Here we go. Yeah.
Let's get him in screen, Steve.
Yeah, lift him up a little bit.
That's it. There we go. That's perfect. Keep those there for the rest of the evening. That'd be great.
You were definitely sounding more and more like my wife every time I talk to you.
Go on quickly, Nathan. Yeah, you're going to ask a question. Go.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're talking about good games. Has anyone got any Master System crap games other than Pit Fighter? Because I'm going to throw Back to the Future 2 in there, which I think is probably the worst game.
Back to the Future 2 is terrible on everything.
Played. It is dreadful. You can't get past level 1.
I don't think I've played it.
That's it.
Hang on.
Don't play it. It's awful. Don't do it.
That's one of my favourite worst games.
What?
It's one of my favourite worst games, if that makes sense. I remember getting that on a Christmas morning in 91 or 92. And I played it and I thought, what the hell is this? But I think one that is right up there with that is... Oh, no, that one. Hold on, let me have a little retrout. It is. That one.
Again, the Flintstones is terrible on every format. I don't care what you say. It's a shocking game, full stop.
That's shocking. There's one that
I had that on the Amiga. It made me cry.
One that gets a lot of hate, but it's not actually too bad of a game, I don't think, is Tom and Jerry.
I like that.
No, it's horrible. Horrible game.
I movie
sucks as well.
People don't like it. It's not a bad little chase game. Fair play. It's all right, that is.
No, it's not. Flintstones is great on the NES. I think it's a completely different game on the NES. I think that's.
Do you paint on the NES?
Well, you can do. I wouldn't recommend it. Flint. Yeah, I think there's two Flintstones. Are there two Flintstones games? I'm pretty sure.
There's several.
There's something with Dinosaur Flintstones 2 Dinosaur Peak or something like that.
Oh, hang on. I'm thinking about the NES. I don't know about the NES and the Master System. Actually,
if Steve's starting his Master System games, he seems to go lower down the screen each time he pulls out.
He's sitting on them with piles going down.
Martin, what games have you got there? Because we haven't been to you yet. So
yeah, I was going to say quickly. I know you showed a couple of games between you, like Desert Strike and I think it's Shinobi. I picked them up for about £5-6, but they're like no manual at London last month.
Mm.
So you can get them cheaper, but not necessarily like full or for condition you want. But with the games, I'm going to sort of slightly cheat a little bit. So one I want to show, which is a bit different, is Trivial Pursuit.
See, I like a bit of Trivial Pursuit. I like my quizzes.
Yeah. Cool thing with this one is you can actually play in English, French, German, or Spanish. So we tried it in German, which, although we know some, was still ridiculously long. I think we were there for like 4 hours because we kept getting the questions wrong.
I think what's great about the fact they spelled genius on the front wrong.
Well, that's why I bought it. I thought it was genius for me.
Which is really good for Trivial Pursuit. You know, high brain quality quiz, and they spelled genius wrong on it. What's a genus? Genus used to play for Newcastle, didn't he, years ago? I don't know.
Yeah, now he's a rubbish pundit for BBC.
Yeah.
I wish I hated him more as a footballer or a pundit.
Well, don't watch him on the One Show then. Yeah.
Oh,
No, don't.
like Emily Sandy to go away.
Also, Afterburner.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You see, I don't think that's a bad conversion. It's not. I mean, it's obviously it's choppy as hell, but compared to a lot of the other 8-bit versions that came out, it's still pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy it, and I just like shooting down the other planes. So, I mean, I'm not very good at it, but it's still fun.
Yeah.
What else is there to do other than shoot down the other planes?
No, just the general concept of shooting down planes is fun.
Oh, right.
But then, I play GTA, so what do you expect? I mean, to be fair, on GTA, I will just on GTA, I'll just go steal a jet fighter. So there you go. So the reason I said I was cheating is it's actually 3-in-1. Master Games 1, which, to be fair, I think generally had good games. I know you mentioned World Soccer, Sean.
Yeah.
And that is like probably the first football game I ever played.
What's wrong with that picture, Mart?
There's no hang tag for one thing.
No,
I'm probably my face.
What's wrong with the picture on that cover?
I think one of the covers doesn't match. Well, I know the World Soccer one don't match.
Hang on.
What game is that down here?
Oh yeah. See, it's World Cup Italia.
Yeah, it is. I hate that game.
No, it's not World Soccer.
No, it is actually World Soccer on here, but the picture's wrong.
Yeah.
Because I've played World Soccer on here loads of times, and it's fun. But I mean, the games they put on there. I mean, Super Monaco GP, Columns, and World Soccer are all really good ones. I find, especially Columns. I prefer that to Texas personally. Columns.
Did early, man.
Yeah, I mean, I've actually got them all individually as well. So Columns, Super Monaco,
Grand Prix,
World Soccer.
World Soccer, yeah.
I think that was a bargain. That was like £2 in cash converters last year, I think.
Wow.
Nice.
That's a bargain, isn't he?
Yeah.
And
it's got the manual as well.
With the hang tag as well.
Oh, £2. There we go.
£2, something like that, yeah. But it's worth it because it's like the one game, all in 3 games in one, and you get a manual for each as well. So, right, got the Monaco one.
You do, yeah, that's right, yeah. I didn't know they did that.
And the World Soccer one, all on one cart. So,
really clever, that.
The disappointing thing with it is where they named it Master Games 1, makes it sound like there's going to be a second one. Yeah. But it never happened, as far as I'm aware.
No, I think you're right.
But I'd say one game, that's a good start. So you get 3, and you get 3 good ones, all with different genres.
Yeah. Have you any more, mate, or is that last one you're going to
show? I think if we're going for ones we haven't shown that, otherwise Sonic for me.
Yep, you showed Sonic off earlier, didn't you? So, okay. Alf is terrible on the Master System. I've seen it, but I've never played it. So
isn't Alf just terrible anyway?
Yeah.
Alf, the TV show was brilliant. You still love Alf?
It wasn't.
God, you brilliant!
Ridiculous concept for the time.
Much of a signal for the TV down the valleys.
that's all they could get.
They're all coming around watching Alf on a Friday night.
It was a Saturday night, actually.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, that'll watch the sheep for a few hours.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That's what we thought it was first. We thought it was brown sheep.
Steve, I've got a question for you. What do I do? What do I do here? Look, I've got no hang tab.
Oh, hang on.
I've got a sticker on the side. What do I do? What do I do?
Oh, I keep the sticker on. You can't take the sticker off.
I know, but I've got no hang tab. So what do I do?
Oh,
In it.
do you know the matter? My shelves by here, I'd rather have no hang tabs anyway. Because the ones I have got, I can bend them over.
Yeah.
So I can put them on a shelf.
They're a bugger. They really are. It's good to have them, but they're an absolute pain in the arse. You want to try and stack them, especially the way I do it. But yeah, I like the hang tabs, but they're an absolute pain. You have to bend them over. And an upcoming video will explain how I stack mine, but I'll get to that in a couple of weeks' time. Shadow of the Beast, the bug film mess in the Master System, but I keep coming back to it. I've got Shadow of the Beast. I haven't played it yet, though.
Never played that.
I don't like Shadow of the Beast. It's a horrible game. Afterburner is actually better on the NES and the PC Engine.
Yeah. It's terrible on the Master System.
It's okay. It's okay. I wouldn't say it's brilliant.
Master System.
Yeah. As the controllers, why do they make the arcade stick with the stick that to be used in your right hand?
Yeah, that's what Martin showed earlier.
Yeah.
It's European where they drive on the other side.
Actually, left hand, though, isn't it? Oh, yeah. Oh, I don't know. I think I prefer that.
One big hand, do it like this. And you've got a hand free for having a drink. Like.
No, it is, I couldn't.
There we go. It's sold. After all these years.
Columns over Tetris, you're crazy.
Yeah,
I like Tetris. I just prefer to play columns. But I played that as a kid first, so maybe that's why.
Martin,
And
tell
yeah,
me
I am
what
crazy.
on about. It's still sealed anyway.
Steve's right. No.
About what?
For everything.
Again.
Anyone asking why there aren't any more Master System homebrews?
I'd love to have some of them.
Paul Retrobate mentions the pig one.
Yeah, the Flight of Piggerets.
Piggerus, which Eddie pointed out. Yeah.
What?
That looks
What the
awesome.
heck is that?
Piggerus.
Fingers.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about me when you said a pig.
No, you're a babe.
Evening, Ian. Nice to see you, mate. Sam Hangame, if you've not been across to see Ian's channel, please do go give him a like and check out his content. He's a great guy. As ridiculous as you're talking about old American TV program, Harry and the Hendersons, that was awful. As was the film. As ridiculous as Heil Honey, I'm Home, which was actually. See, this is. I'm going off tangent here. Heil Honey, I'm Home was actually. People regularly call it the worst television program ever made. It was like a piss take of Hitler living next door to a family of Jews in the modern day. But the problem was it was actually made as a spoof. People seem to think it was made one episode and they cancelled it. They only made one episode for it. It was designed as a spoof. It was on. I think it was on BSB when it started, not Sky. So there we go. This is Piggerus. It was on the Master System Challenge a few weeks ago. That one was class, but I don't know any others. Can we class
Stardew Valley? I told you to find out. Andy's only reviving all the 8-bit boy UK. Like I said, they proper important to like the homebrew stuff and that. And like the tech toy stuff from Brazil, they got mad stuff like Street Fighter 2, Mortal Kombat 3, Virtua Fighter, loads of stuff for the tech toy stuff. Do you count those as official parts of the Master System collection, or do you think they sit outside of it? I class them as a worldwide, the tech toy stuff, as a Master System one, but I wouldn't class them as homebrew.
Actually,
that might just be me. Yeah. Perhaps others might, but I don't.
Yeah, saying about that, I know that in Brazil only, for example, for me specifically, there's actually a FIFA for Master System.
Yeah.
So, but it's only in the Brazil. So eventually, I'm gonna have to get that because then it'll be like for my Master System and the FIFA set. I've no idea how.
Have a chat to all the 8-bit boy UK because I'm sure you might have a contact out there. Someone sorted him out to deal with Mortal Kombat 3. So get in touch with him. You might be able to sort something out for you.
All right, cheers.
Question for 37 Retro. Why does there seem to be statistically higher chance of buying second-hand Master System games with the manuals covered in pen from kids?
Yeah, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong. Round here, it's either curry or spaghetti bolognese stains all of them. I don't know what people were doing with their manuals back in the days, but I mean, some of them...
Do you think that their parents couldn't buy them colouring books? Because
yeah, this one I got behind.
Hang on,
like
Steve.
a dick.
Like all pen and coloured and that. God knows what it is.
I think that's someone's boob.
It looks pert if it is.
Trying to make Mega Drive manuals.
When was the last time you saw a boob, Martin? I mean, you know, it's just...
No, mine get very pert. They're just a bit saggy at the minute. I was to say, don't worry, I won't show everyone. It's my hidden chest.
I'm sure that inspired Dane to name his shop.
It's a fun question. A fun question from Eddie. Question for the panel: is there any TV shows in the 80s and 90s would you like to see made into a Master System game? I just talked about rubbish 80s programs that weren't made into games.
The
I got the Star Trek one. Or Raccoons, yeah. Star Trek or Raccoons.
Yeah.
I would say, like, Airwolf. I know it had releases another way, and I suppose you sort of got one with Shoplifter.
Yeah, that was right, yeah. Yeah, I was thinking the A-Team or something like that, you know.
The A-Team, yeah, that'd be brilliant.
You could have like a driving section. Chips, yeah.
Chips. Mask.
Yeah. Yeah, that's inspired Nath to go and look at something.
Yeah, hasn't it? Obviously digging out.
Going to come falling down on my head.
Oh, go on.
I'm not talking about the
there we go.
What's
that on, Nate? Look at that, awesome.
That's a Spectrum, yeah.
I'll tell you what I'm gutted about. I saw Mask, like the box set in HMV about 2-3 years ago. I think it was a $5. I should have bought it.
Yeah.
The whole box set
for $5. Was it?
That will haunt you for the rest of your days, mate.
The one I had, I think it was the whole series.
Yeah.
So
I do agree. I do agree, Paulie. A Red Dwarf in the style of Monkey Island would be awesome. I think that's brilliant.
That's a great idea. That.
Yeah. I know it's
point and click rubbish, isn't it?
He's triggered a few people there.
Isn't he just? No wonder he's hiding. Good grief.
The same way the sheep hide.
Yeah. Whoever Vinny J. Easy is a so-and-so who wrote about 10 of my games. Eddie does agree. Raccoons, how did it not get released as a game? Yeah. Mash on the Master System. That's interesting. Could be sort of like a trauma centre point and click type adventure at the same time as well. I'd be quite good at that.
Where's the bullet located in the patient? You have to click on his body to find it.
Yeah.
You said Smash there about the robots and the mashed potato. I think there was a version of Mash which they're called Mashed, which I think was like a text adventure which came out on the 8-bits as well.
Free with
alternative, wasn't it?
God.
One of my favourite programs. That was an Amstrad as well. Yep, that's right. There we go. Yeah, so a lot of interesting chat there going on. So, anybody want to add anything else about the Master System while we're here that we haven't covered yet? Oh well, oh geez. Oh, okay. I don't expect a response. Usually, what I say is no. Okay, great.
Well, actually, I thought about this earlier. So, what did people think about the cover style, like the with the grid?
I like it.
It's awesome.
Love it.
Yeah, same here.
Love it.
I think it goes to that whole clean effect generally again. Like it's like not too much, and
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like, you know, when they got that, you got the Double Dragon logo, the graphics at the bottom. You still got that grid at the back. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. I should hate that, but I don't because I think that looks brilliant. I think that looks absolutely superb.
I mean, I know it's got a bit at the top, but yeah.
Fine as well.
So I never used to like the grid, but now I do.
Have you
Yeah.
It's
seen
anonymous, isn't it,
Master
with
System,
Master
innit?
System covers.
Yeah.
But I think it's like the original Mega Drives, with the black and the grid pattern on that. It's that uniformity. As collectors, we like to see things like that on the shelf. If we're collecting, Xbox or PlayStation 2 or any NES, we've got that uniform look to everything.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about it. Well, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, when it's on the shelf next to the white ones.
Yeah,
Same as Robocop or Terminator.
Yeah, I've got Agassi Tennis is exactly the same as well, Steve.
Yeah.
That's a
That's
black one.
Yeah.
Oh, and of course you get some of them.
Oh, you see that again?
Oh, that's awful.
Now, see, I don't see many of those around at all.
No.
No, this one I've only ever seen like that. I think I've got.
Is it 8 or 10 of them, Matt? It's about 8 or 10 of them, isn't it?
Yeah, there's not many of them. I mean, I got lucky with this one because it was marked as Super Monaco GP1 when I bought it from CX. So I don't know how much that one would have been. It didn't actually show. But because it was marked as 1, it was only like 2-3 quid.
It's not a drastically expensive game, but it is a very, very good one.
Yeah.
Didn't Game Gear adopt that grid as well?
What was I saying?
Go
Sean, go.
on, Sean, sorry.
Didn't Game Gear games adopt that grid?
Yeah. I've got one. But yeah, you can see it at the bottom.
Oh, it's silver, wasn't it, instead? Yeah.
Yeah, it looks nice though, I think.
Yeah.
Right. Here's a question to you all. What's your favourite box art for the Master System?
Favourite box art?
I'll show mine. That's mine, but shadow of a doubt. That
is cool.
That's awesome, that is. Psycho Fox.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think I've got to go Sonic.
One artwork, that is.
Sonic. Gotta be.
What about the second one, Mark?
The second one.
As well, isn't it?
The second one looks good, but I think I prefer the first one. Although I prefer the logo there.
Yeah.
The logo's better on that one, but I think I prefer that art.
Yeah. Both quality.
I mean, there's always
chaos
chaos.
on the Master System, because if you have that might answer my question. Do you have it?
What's that one?
Road Rash on the Master System. Do you have it?
Oh no.
The box art on that one with the blue spine, I think it looks
really that's
cool.
another dark box as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a dark box.
I tell you which one I like to look of. Not only just like Sonic Chaos, which is
that's
I
nice.
think it's the worst. It's nice, but it's the worst of the three, I think. But I like your Star Wars one, Russ.
Oh, the Star Wars one, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, let's bring that back up, shall we?
I think that looks nice. It makes me think Star Wars, just seeing just looking at the art of it generally.
Yeah.
But it looks like on the side it doesn't, but the front looks like a Star Wars game.
Yeah, it's got the logo on it, isn't it? The proper title on it. It's really, really good, that one. Single player gamer agrees the grid pattern does look awesome.
Yeah.
So does Broseb. Grid style and the Genesis, as you get the dark grid and the Mega Drive Genesis. Yeah, I do agree with that. Eddie says those Master System games with the yellow spines. Yeah, not a big fan of those at all, are we?
Actually, I still really like the Lemmings one. I think that one's quite. There's a lot going on in there.
So we go.
I think that's quite cool box art.
I do as well. I think. Yeah.
Asterix another cracker as well, isn't it?
Yeah. I was just thinking, I've actually got these sitting next to me. That's a lovely box art. That
I'll tell you what.
Looking at that.
I'll tell you this one as well.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Here's mine.
I think that looks nice.
Yeah.
I wish I had that still.
The Disney ones as well is all good. Mind. Don't like the
Castle of Illusion, yeah.
Land of Illusion. All good.
This was one I had. This was the game I played as a kid, Land of Illusion. But that is just epic as well.
Yeah.
Which one's that, Martin? Sorry, you go.
Land of Illusion.
Oh yeah.
With the ship there for some reason.
Streets of Rage as well. That one's awesome.
That Land of Illusion is a good one.
I'm spoiling one of my pickups now by you, but
we got an exclusive. We got an exclusive.
Oh,
there we go.
Look at that.
Nice.
Is that like Pikmin?
This, right?
It's exactly like Pikmin.
It's exactly like Pikmin.
Let's see what you say. Right?
Finish your
We've got
drink.
this, right? Nope. Turns out they sold me the wrong case. It's actually the Mega Drive one.
Oh no!
The thing is, when I bought it, it was from Game Station, I think, a few years ago. So this was only like £4. But they were like, went to buy it, and it turned out to be the Mega Drive one. They went, oh, someone must have sold the wrong cover, or something stupid like that. I thought, oh well, I'll keep it. So I tricked people into thinking I have it when I don't.
Loose card, a loose card for it, but
Yeah, well, that's what I hope to do. I hope to get the whole set, and of course the Mega Drive cover at some point.
yeah,
I suppose the first instance, you buy a game and you get given the right game but the wrong system. That's
yeah.
you don't usually see that, do you?
Streets of Rage Street's really hard to get on the Master System, mine. Really
Yeah, I
hard.
know.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep that cover for one day if I do find the loose cartridge.
I'm Streets of Rage 4 now.
Yeah, that's really hard to get on the Master System, mine.
Is there any game that you'd like that you haven't got for this Master System?
Power Strike 2.
Is that because it's so expensive, or just because of the fact that
It's,
You know,
it's
it's a game,
one. It's one I've always wanted. No, even I first wanted it when it was around the £100 mark, and even then it was still like out of my range. So now it's 400. I still really want it, but not for the price. I just want it because it's a great shmup.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with Steve there. But mine's Power Strike 1 and 2.
Yeah.
They're the games I like.
I've got 3, I think.
No.
I'd like
Power
to
Strike
actually
3.
get No. Yeah, did you know about that one?
Rage 3.
No, I'd like to get the actual proper copy of Alex Kidd in Miracle World. Get an actual physical copy one day. And I'd also like to get Sonic Spinball and Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machines.
Yeah.
Because like, I've got the Mega Drive ones, but I'd love to get the Master System versions.
Yeah.
Aren't they expensive?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
It'd be alright if it was the same price as the Mega Drive versions.
Oh, yeah. Especially Spinball.
Nice.
I got 4. The 4 I mentioned. They are Streets of Rage, Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade, Jurassic Park, and Road Rash. Those 4.
Yeah, I've got that as well.
Yeah, I know everyone's got it except me.
Mine's without the manual as well, sadly.
Yeah, same here. I think mine was like £7 or something off eBay, like earlier this year or something.
I should have. I thought I'll go back later and look. Here you come.
We've mentioned them already, but 2 for me that I haven't got, which I'd like, would be Bubble Bobble and also New Zealand Story as well. But I've never seen any of them out and about, so one day hopefully I'll find them and pick them up. Couple more.
As well, Russ.
Oh, Rainbow White, yes, Steve. I forgot that came out for the system as well. I played that on emulation.
Yeah,
It's really good.
Great port. It plays really well. Fair play.
Again, there aren't many bad ports of Rainbow Islands. I mean, those 3 games there, there aren't bad versions of them at all, in my opinion. 37 Retro said wants to pick up Ghouls and Ghosts. Yes, I would like to do that as well. And he looks a lot slower than one. It's good on the Master System with a few changes, but he's going up in price. Yep, you're absolutely right. Do you have that one, Steve? Yeah.
Oh,
There we go.
Got very, very lucky with that. I think I didn't pay much for it. Like I said, it's only box and manual, but box and card. But it's a great port that is, because I think this is the only version with a shop in it.
That's right.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, because he did. 37 recommends that there's a few changes like the shop.
Yeah.
So you can upgrade your armor. Yeah, I've watched the video on that today. So it's Mr. Tapman up the Dale. Yep, right up the Dale.
Actually, Russ, there is one game I'd like to try, which is like one you've mentioned previously, not today. Chuck Rock.
Oh yes.
Because I actually had that as a kid, and I just remember seeing like it had the plain black background, if I remember rightly. Yeah, but it's like one I had only for a tiny bit when I had one as a kid, so I'd like to try that again. I
haven't got that one, have I?
I know you've mentioned Chuck Rock generally before, not too long ago.
I've mentioned. I got it on the Mega Drive.
Yeah, I had the Master System one as a kid. So yeah, is that Sonic Shock or something?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. They're both very good games, those. So.
Do you think? I thought it was awful.
Did you?
Yeah, I didn't like it at all.
I've only ever played the Mega Drive one. I didn't think much of it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I know you've got to shoot off shortly, Steve, haven't you? We're getting close to time, yeah. So we're going to have to wrap that up, I think, for now, folks. But if you haven't heard much about the Master System, we've shown so many games off time. I don't think we've ever had a flipping podcast where we've shown so many games. And most of them have been Steve and Martin, to be honest with you. But thank you for pulling those out of wherever you pull them out of. I don't know, but I think we're all in agreement. This is a very, very good system to collect for, and
definitely,
it's not difficult to collect for as well. But like every other system is at the moment, there are some games that are going to set you back a few quid. And in some cases a lot more than a few quid, but very, very achievable. And we are sort of doing it slightly differently. Sean was going for loose cartridges, which is a good way of doing it if you want all the games. I've sort of adapted my collection a bit more to include more box with manual. Hang tabs I can go either way on, but if it's got the manual and a good box, I'm happy with it. And everybody else, has their own way of doing it. I mean, how many games have you got altogether, Steve?
I did a couple of years back. I was up to 196, but then also had a math cleared out. I've started again.
Yeah,
which is cost me a lot more money to go again now. I think I'm up on the 100 mark now. I think, or just over 100.
Yeah, I'm up to about 80. There's about 200 and something in there, I think.
269. I think.
Yeah, 269 in it.
Yeah,
that includes Smurfs Travel the Wilderness, Smurfs 2 as well. I think that does.
I think it does. Yeah. I think I must be about where you are, Steve. I'm about 110.
Yeah.
I think.
A long way to go, then, isn't there?
Yep.
Yeah.
A long way to go.
But we've got the rest of our lives to collect them, haven't we? No rush.
Well, that's it. Well,
I've got more time than some people.
That's a bit of a barb to finish on. And Martin makes his last ever appearance on the podcast, but there we go.
I've been doing it. See ya.
Guys, thanks very much indeed for coming on tonight and sharing your Master System collections and your memories and your tips and your recommendations and your non-recommendations. It's been a good fun. I hope people in the chat have enjoyed listening to it as well. Steve, big thanks to you for coming on, mate. As we joked before about getting you on, but I'm thrilled you managed to pop along and do this. It's been great to have you on and do that. So
I've absolutely loved it, lads. It's been great chat. But if I can get about, I can't see any of the chat.
Right.
Chatting about, but you've been absolute. I've loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Oh, well, that's great, mate. Thank you. We'll have to have you on again soon. We'll have to have you on again and come back and talk about something else if we can do. Nate, thanks very much. Thanks very much for coming on, mate. I appreciate you your time up. Sean, thank you, mate. It's been good to see you here again. Yeah. Cool. And Martin, thanks for stepping in at the last minute as well, mate. It's answering the call to come on.
Should I talk about Tuesday as well?
Yes, by all means, mate, if you want to mention Tuesday.
Right, thanks. So Tuesday, I'll be doing not the next, but the one after entry for the 12 Streams of Christmas. It will be talking about 2021, like what's been your favourite moments, because I'm sure some people have had some. I have. But also I want to do about games, like what games have you enjoyed coming out, what have you played, and then the same with looking forward to next year. I am also looking for people to come on, so just let me know if you're interested. I've had 1 or 2 people, but looking at a couple more if possible.
Okay, lovely, mate. That's Tuesday night on your channel, part of the 12 Streams.
8 o'clock, 8:30. I'll let people know. Definitely.
Okay, lovely. And if it's a good stream you did the other week, mate, it will be a lot of fun. So I hope people do pop on. I should be about, but obviously, if you are, you do need me, just give me a shout or something, mate. So you can do that, yeah. So that's it for tonight, guys. You want to wish just everybody a Merry Christmas before I drop you all backstage, and then I'll do the final end and let everybody go.
Right.
Yep. Happy Christmas all. We'll see you on tNB podcast next year.
Merry Christmas.
Have a good one to you and yours.
And this is my final appearance after
Yes, final appearance. Yeah. God, Steve, you're gonna say.
Oh, I was going to say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all who have all have a great one.
Yep, same here. Merry Christmas, everybody.
All right.
Happy New Year.
Thanks, guys. I'll just talk you backstage, and I'll just wind up. Just give me a second. There we go. And there they go, like bod into the distance. Thanks very much indeed for your company again this evening. It's been brilliant. This is the last tNB of the year. I'll get to that in a second. Just to remind you as well, if you've been keen up with the 12 streams of Christmas, there's Corbana's quiz tomorrow night at 8 o'clock over on his channel. The way he's doing it is you don't have to be on the stream, or you can just dial into it and join in remotely via a website, and there's obviously like a leaderboard. It's a Christmas quiz. It's not games. It's going to be game related Christmas quiz. So a lot of fun to be had. Martin's doing one on Tuesday, about 2021. On Wednesday, there's Paul Retro Bates quiz, which is Sega Zombie versus Larry Budney Jr. Not part of the 12 streams of Christmas, but you should really need to go and watch that and take part as well. Have a bit of fun with yourself at home. That'll be definitely worth watching. Thursday on Games and Bird Rooms channel, which is the 23rd December, there's a Secret Santa, 18 YouTubers opening presents. Because, opening boxes on YouTube's a thing, apparently. And then on Friday, Big Game L's Christmas Eve extravaganza from some point in the afternoon until some point 5 days later. I don't know. Depends if he gets back in the country or not. We don't know yet. So that's Christmas Eve. We're back on the 9th of January, not the 2nd of January, because Swap Shop's on that week. But we're back on the 9th, which is 3 weeks' time. So we're going to have an extra long break. And I've got no idea what we're doing yet, but we will return in 2021 in January to talk more rubbish on a Sunday night to keep you occupied. In the meantime, thanks to everybody who's been in the chat tonight. Broseb, Mr. Tapman, thank you for coming in. Single Player Gamer, good to see you here. Claire, thank you again. Eco Video Game Pirate, 8-Bit Rach, and Amanda as well. Thank you very much indeed. Everybody who's contributed to the chat, comments, questions, etc. Thank you very much indeed for watching. And all it remains to be saying is, hope you have a very good Christmas. Have a safe Christmas, please. Have a safe Christmas. Whatever you're doing, enjoy it and have a good new year as well. We will see you back on the 9th of January. Until then, this is the Retro Bear saying bye for now. And